application packaging is. Application packaging is the method used by business and organizations to easily install required software on the devices of the appropriate users. For every kind of software that a business uses, a package of files must be created. So, among the software program which we use on a daily basis in an organizations are Microsoft Office, Teams, Outlook, Google Chrome, etc. So, you people, whoever who will be working in the IT industry, they will be aware that when you log into any system, you see the number of applications in your system. It can be a Google Chrome, it can be a Outlook, it can be a Teams, or it can be any other application. So, all these applications which you are viewing in your system is done by the application packager. So we are the one in the backend who will be doing this packaging, and we will be delivering this application to all of the person who is working on that organization so that they can easily carry out their daily work. Now, if we talk about the market and industry trend, so obviously, if you are going to learn about any new technology, you should know that what is the future of this technology, how the trend is going on with respect to this technology. So, for more than 2 decades, application packaging has been available on the market and has changed in parallel with technology. Companies aim to maintain as stable an infrastructure as possible, offering security, reducing cost, and guaranteeing uninterrupted and seamless operations. The market for application packaging is growing increasingly demanding and complex, requiring ongoing technology advancement and improvements. So obviously, if you are going to enroll in this particular technology, obviously you are going to go ahead with a very good skills. It is a completely technical topics. Whatever the topics I will be dealing, it is not a non-technical, but rather it is everything technical. And this is already an automated part. So nothing is going to replace it in future with respect to the automation, because whatever you are doing as part of application, as part of delivering the package, that is completely automated. You are going to package the application, and then you are going to deliver that application to n number of the customers who are working in that organization, and that will be a complete silent installation. So user will not come to know that the application is installed, but in the backend the application will be installed. Just that they have to go to the search menu and they would be able to see that applications. So this is what is the role of an application packager is. Now, the next question arises that who can do this course? Obviously, there are many people who are working in the IT industry and they are working in different technology. But if we talk about who can do this course, so it can be individuals who are new to the workforce, that is a fresher, or an unemployed in chat or customer support roles. So any fresher who would have been graduated with either a BSc, BCom, BCA, or any engineering graduate can do this course. Along with that, any individuals who is working in the chat support or voice support, they can also enroll with this course. Along with that, any personnel who is involved in desktop support or service desk operations, which we called as L1 and L2 support, that person can also do this course. Along with this, any professionals who are engaged in the role of Office 365, Teams, Link, Skype for Business, and SharePoint engineering can also do this course. Then, any experts who are involved in service management, incident management, and the change management role can also do this course. Professionals serving in the capacity of SCCM administrator or Intune administrator, because an application packager can do a both of a work of deployment also, which comes as a part of SCCM and Intune deployment. So a person who is already working as a part of SCCM administrator or Intune administrator, they will be having a little bit of knowledge because they will be doing the deployment of the application. So if they are going to do this course, it will help them to grow in a very good way when they are going to work as a future in the future as part of the IT organization. Then individuals who are employed as a roles of Mac or Linux packaging. So what we are going to do is Windows packaging, but along with that, we know that we have also Linux or Mac. So they are also doing a packaging of Linux or Mac. So a person who is doing a part of packaging which comes as a part of Linux or Mac, they can also get enrolled with the Windows application packaging. Now, in application packaging for the Windows, we have few types of source file. So in this particular training, I will be dealing with few types of source file that are exe, which we know as executable and legacy file installer. Then it is an MSI, which comes as a part of Microsoft Windows installer. And then is the loose files, which comes as a part of combination of files and folder. Now we have a content, we have segregated our training into two parts. First is the basic content and the second is the advanced content. So this following will outline the content of the application packaging course, which will be addressed as a part of basic and advanced training modules. So it totally depends upon your choice that you are going to do which course. Do you want to do the basic one or do you want to do the advanced one? I will be explaining the topics which we will be covering as part of basic and advanced content. So first I will be explaining you the basic content. So as I said, we have few types of source file. So first is the executable files, which is the type of source file, which is .exe. Then MSI architecture and tables and cabinet files. So the another source file is MSI, which is the Microsoft Windows installer. So there are many things which we have to learn as part of MSI because there are many other topics. So that is what we are going to discuss on the second topic, which is MSI architecture, tables, and cabinet files. Then we have environment variables, which is the two types of environment variable, system and user environment variable, why it is required, and why we are going to deal with the application packaging. That all we will be dealing in the basic content. Then is the upgrade and upgrade table, how you are going to update any application from the older version to the new version. So with the help of upgrade table, we can do that. So this is one of the advancement through which you can upgrade your application from an older version to newer version. Then is the transforms. It is a mirror image of your MSI file. So we get a source file from the vendor, and then in that particular source file, we have to do many changes with respect to the standard of the organization, or we can say as per the customer requirement. And after that, whatever we created, that is called as a transforms. So we will also be dealing with how you are going to create a transform file. Then active setup and self healing and shortcuts. So basically, whenever we get install any application, that gets installed as per either the user context or the system context. So if any application is getting installed as per the user context, then we have to create an active setup. So this comes as a very important part of application packaging training, wherein we will be explaining you that how you are going to convert that user context application to a system context application, so that any users who have logged into that particular machine, they would be able to use that application. Then Windows installer properties, there are few properties which comes as a part of a standard of your organization. That properties we have to implement it when we are going to create any packages. Then registry and registry table. So when we install any application to our system, so we launch the application and we see that the application is getting launched. But inside that application, there are n number of files and registries. So thus, the registries are very important when it comes as a part of application packaging. Then services. Services are the services which runs as a part of application packaging. So there are few applications which install services. So how you are going to work on such applications, if it is installing that services, how you are going to start the services, stop the services. So that will we will be dealing as a part of services content. Then is the Microsoft application virtualization 5.x theoretical. So basically we have two types of application, which is a physical and a virtual application. So a AppV means it is a virtual application. So we will be dealing the theory part of the AppV application. Then in the basic content, we will be dealing with the scripting part. So we will be dealing with three types of scripting here. First is the VBS, which is the virtual basic scripting. Then is the batch scripting. Then is the PowerShell application deployment toolkit and or PowerShell. So these are the script we will be covering, and it will be a basic scripting. Then as we know that Intune has already come to the market, and being a packager, we have to create a Intune Win file. So how we are going to create a Intune Win file, and how then we are going to give that Intune Win file to the for the Intune deployment, that I will be dealing here. Then the tools which we will be discussing as a part of application packaging are Admin Studio, in which we will be having a install shield, repackager, and PSADT tool. After that, we will be dealing with the practice test and few interview questions. The interview questions which we will be dealing, it will be a part of both the scenario based questions and the normal theory questions. These questions are only available by us as a part of Joytrust technology. You would not be able to find such scenario based questions anywhere. Now, at the end, for the basic, overall as a practical part of the application, we will be covering 3 to 4 applications. So we will be giving you the theory along with the practical lab, where we will be discussing the 3 to 4 applications along with all the basic types of scripting. And once the training is completed, we will be providing you all the scripts so that you can take a use of that script, and then you can create another applications as well. Now in advance, almost the topics are same, just that there are few additions as compared to basic. So in the complex packages, like if you see, first is executable files, then MSI architecture and tables and cabinet files, environment variables, upgrade and upgrade table, transforms, active setup and self healing and shortcuts, Windows installer properties, registry and registry table and services, Microsoft AppV 5.x theoretical. Then in script, it is the same script, just that in advance, we will be dealing about the advanced scripting of PSADT, because in 90% of the organization, they are using PSADT. So if you are going to enroll with the advanced training, then we will be explaining you the advanced scripting of PSADT. Along with that, the addition which is there as part of the basic, we are also explaining you about the complex package. So in the complex package, we will be dealing with the huge size application, which means an application which will be having a size more than 4 GB, 5 GB. It can go approx 10 GB or 20 GB. Such applications we will be dealing. Then how you are going to create a PSADT script with the help of active setup application, that we will be dealing. Then we will be dealing with the driver packages. So there are few applications which install drivers. So we will be also dealing with such application with PSADT scripting. Then we will be dealing with URL related application, how you are going to create any URL related file with the help of PSADT scripting, that we will be dealing. Then Intune Win file creation, tools discussed will be in advanced will be install shield, repackager, Orca, and PSCDT. So the addition is here as compared to basic. It is Orca we are going to also cover in the advanced. Then at the end we will be covering the practice test and interview questions. Now in part of practical lab, we will be covering almost 7 to 8 applications overall in the advanced content. So that is all about our course. If you want to get enrolled for this application packaging training, you can contact the number showing in your screen. You can either call or you can WhatsApp it. The number is 9540662806. So if you have any queries, if you think that some topics are not there as a part of application packaging which should be there, so you can.
So in the beginning, I will be going with the simple terms which we use it in the packaging, and then along with that, the way we will go, we will be dealing with the complex terms. So this is the presentation basically which I follow to give the training, and at the end, I will be sharing this presentation with you guys. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so before I start, first of all, I will be telling you guys what is application packaging and why it is required being in an IT, and what is the advantages and disadvantages. So application packaging. So basically, we know that being in an IT, we deal with many applications which is installed and pre-configured in our system. Like we have many apps in our Android and in our iOS device. Same way, we have many such applications installed in our system. So it depends upon company to company that what type of applications they are using, because we know that there are n number of IT companies and they are dealing with different fields. So if I talk about the fields, like it can be a project of energy, it can be a project of books related thing, it can be a project related with the pharmacy. So for everything we have a different apps. For an example, uh, if I talk about the pharmacy apps which we have in our Android devices, so it is like 1mg, we have medibuddy. So there are many such applications. Same way, if an organization is dealing with the project which is pharmacy related, so the applications will be different for them. Few applications are common, but few applications are depending upon the fields, that what type of field it is working. If it is book related, then we will have a book related of applications. So such applications, we as a packager, we do the repackaging. What we are doing is a repackaging, but we called it as a application packaging. So the application packaging is mainly files which is created by the developer, not by us. What we are doing is the repackager. We are doing some customization. What type of customization, that I will be telling you how we are going to customize. We have to customize the application in a such a way that the application will be available to the customer in a silent mode. They don't have to do it next to install the application. We know that when we are going to install any application in our Windows system, we have to select few icons, we have to click on next and all that. There are many configurations which we have to do. So all that configuration we have to make it a silent way. So application Repackaging, if I defined it, it is basically customizing the application as per the customer requirements. So there can be a number of requirements, the requirements which will be available in the PRF. So we have a package request form, which Sumit was discussing in the first thing, that we have a PRF, which is package request form. So that form will be given to the customer. He has to fill that form, and he has to provide that form to the packaging team. That form will have many details about the application, the details like what is the manufacturer, what is the publisher, what is the version, what customization they want to do. All that requirement will be placed in the PRF along with the screenshot of the application. So we as a packager, we have to see that PRF, and accordingly we have to validate the source file. So application packaging is customizing the application as per the user requirements. We are going to bundle the application and the Windows OS into a single file. PRF and PIF. So in some company it is called as PRF, and in some company it is called as PIF. It's a package request form. This is the package information file. Both are same, just that the name gets differ from organization to organization. Now the types of source file. So basically you all people have worked in an IT, either it is an SCCM or application packaging or service desk. So we know that what type of source file we get for, at least for the Windows. The first source file is the .exe. .exe, known as executable files or legacy installer. You can call it as anyway, either the executable files or the legacy installer. Then we have .msi, which is a technology of Microsoft known as Microsoft Windows installer. And then the third one is the loose files, which we get rarely, not much. Mostly whenever we get any request, we get it either a exe or we get a .msi file. So these are the basic three types of source file which we get when we are going to package any application for Windows. For Mac it is different. For Windows it is particular this three type of source file. Just give me 1 minute. Actually, I have a bad throat. Okay. So these are the basic few types of source file. Now, what customization we are going to do? I am going to give you the basic knowledge, the simple things which we do it. So we have a control panel, and we know that in the control panel we have the visibility of all our applications. To open the control panel in a simple way, we type appvis.cpl. So if you type appvis.cpl, directly it will open this particular control program and program features. Either you
A
can,
small question
yes,
to this. If we talk about the loose files, do we have any extension to it?
no, we don't have an extension to it. We have to wrap it up and we have to create a .msi file. When we will be going forward, I will be showing you the example of loose files as well.
Okay, thank you.
So this in this you can see these are the few applications which is already configured in my machine. This means that it is already installed in my machine. What are the few basic customization I am saying as per the organization standard? So for an example, This is the 7-zip. If you see, we have a visibility of uninstall. If I show you Orca, this has the visibility of uninstall, change, repair, everything. So every application has a different options which is visible. There are only three options: uninstall, change, and repair. Only three will be there. In place of change, the name can be modified as well, but it will be only three options. So as per the organization standard, for few organization we have to disable all these three buttons. How we are going to disable that we will be covering in the next part, but these are the few customizations which we have to do it. So this uninstall, change, repair, we have to hide it. We don't have to make it visible to the user, because if it is visible to the user can do the installation and uninstallation if they have an admin rights. So for few application we don't require an admin rights, but for most of the applications which are installing in a system context, then they can do it. So that is the reason this is the standard that we have to hide it. For few organization there is a standard that they hide the uninstall and change, but they keep the repair option visible, so that if a person who is working in a service desk or who is working in a L1 support, if any application gets corrupted, repair is the option that if they have an admin rights, they can repair the application as a L1 support. We as a application packager, we are working as mostly L2 or L3. Mostly it is L3 only, not L2, but few organization has set up the way that it is they are working in a L2 or L3. So as per the organization standard, you have to hide these options. So it is uninstall. You can also see sometimes for few application, in place of uninstall you will be seeing remove. Then we have change. In place of change it can be modify also, and then repair will be always a repair. So these three will be there which we have to do, which is the few basic customization which we have to follow for all the application. Either it is a exe, or it is an MSI, or it is a loose file. Whenever we are going to do it, we have to hide this thing. Then as per the standard, we don't keep the desktop shortcut. We only keep the shortcut in the start menu. So why the another reason why we are not keeping the desktop shortcut, because obviously if you a person is using 100 applications, and if you are going to give the 100 application shortcut, obviously it will be filled, the desktop will be filled and it will be very mess up. So as per the standard, for all the organization, we hide the desktop shortcut. If there is a proper justification for any customer that we have to keep that desktop shortcut, then they have to take a special approval as per the organization standard, and then we can keep the desktop shortcut. Any questions till till this topic?
No.
Okay. Okay, then we have few tools through which we do the packaging. I will be discussing that. So basically we have a tool which is the publisher is the Flexera, and the tool name is Admin Studio. So for the Flexera, we have install shield and repackager. So this is the publisher. Admin Studio is the tool name. So if you people would have heard about the install shield and repackager, that is the part of Admin Studio. That is not the separate tool, but it is the part of our admin studio tool that we do the packaging for installed and repackager. For repackager and install sheet, like if you are going to get the source file as .msi, you are going to create a .mst, which is the Microsoft Windows transform. So if you are going to get a request wherein the user has provided you .msi file, then you have to convert it to the .mst. You cannot do the changes in MSI. We have the rights to do the changes in MSI, but it is a vendor MSI. We cannot do any changes in MSI, and that is the reason we create a mirror image. So with the help of install shield, which is a part of admin studio tool, we are going to create a .mst, which is a Microsoft Windows transform. If we have an exe application, and there are different modes of exe